my eyes, on the junglers pretty specifically for this one. Peanut has been such a good engage for this team. Regardless, it leaves a lot up for top lane. And Zeus on a Rumble, they slam the first pick.
Yeah, the Rumble's really strong. It gets banned on red side in a decent amount of regions as well, so the fact that it just gets slammed down here, it's going to have a good matchup into the Cassante if it does get locked in here by Rest, which he might just do it anyway because it is Cassante after all. The Vi also very much ready and available, so we'll see if Jinja does want to pick that up.
Yeah, Vians and Zhao, a couple of these AD jungles we're now kind of looking at since a lot of the tanks have been knocked down. And we are going to get the Hongq Azir here. What do we want to pair this one up with? Do we want to snag jungle here pretty early on? Or try and go AD carry? There we go. Ezreal, so much priority on the range for this champion. Provides you a lot of versatility. So a lot of teams highly prioritizing these two carries, because these are the two carries that are highly mobile. And if you're staring at a Rumble, you already want to be mobile with your carries so you can get off the Rumble ultimate. And immediately HLE, the Vi you mentioned, they want to keep those carries in place, lock them down. And my goodness, we get the Zeka Yone, so it's definitely going to be scary for all parties involved.
Absolutely. I mean, when you look at this draft, this is a HANWHA Esports God tier draft. But the thing is, I don't think it does very well into what CFO have already, right? It's very hardcore dive, full committal into two mobile carries, like you were saying, and they can just draft more passivity, more disconnection on the side of CFO, more disengage. They're going to go for the Wukong for some ability to create some more space.
Standard team comp, and so they want to take out some of those extra tools there. So not going to have that very easy to execute engage. What we're going to go with here instead. I mean, Ezreal is such a flexible AD carry because you can pair it with like Karma and go double, poke on bottom lane, or you can go for the engage supports. And usually Kaiwing likes engage, but that Karma that I mentioned is going to be the go-to. So have some strong poke early on.
Yeah, I mean, we've definitely been seeing Kaiwing playing a lot of melee engage. That has been the meta for quite a while, but this duo, this 2v2 with the Ezreal Karma is so very strong, especially with a bunch of bans, especially towards that Varus that could have done a decent job into this. So very curious to see what Viper and Delight will respond with here, as they got to do something that can survive in the 2v2, but also does well with the comp, as the Ashe is going to be picked up. Definitely a nice choice.
Yeah, Ashe still really strong, and I love the Hawk shot as well to really enable Peanut here in the early game. Let's see, Delight definitely going to look for some more engage here since they are, pretty heavy with it. Ashe Arrow going to be able to set up so much for this team. I feel like HLE are just going to slam it forward. Yeah, they actually get Delight's Recon.
Yeah.
That was still up.
I mean, so much was available for Delight here.
Yeah, Delight's Recon and Zeka's Yone here. I am very scared for CFO.
Yeah, this is, again, HANWHA Esports kind of just getting whatever they wanted. He could have played Alistair, but the Rakan just a little bit stronger in the lane. I think, they're just totally playing for team fights, though, and that is what this team does. What is this final pick, as it's Alistair to be picked here for the bottom lane, as the Karma will be flexed?
Yeah. So, Kaiwing does have that proclivity for the engaged, melee supports, and so they are going to rotate it up to the top side here, the Karma for Rest instead on that timeline.
Yeah, we'll look at what these lanes look like as well, as we get the fan chants already. You can hear the HANWHA Esports one was much louder. Makes sense since we are here in Wall Park.
That is really weird.
Yeah, I know. Very strange. I thought we'd have more fans come over here to cheer on for the Flying Oysters. And, they did their best. They had a nice little fan chant, but unfortunately, HANWHA Esports, a lot of fans here in Korea that have come down to watch them play this match. And yeah, just a very scary comp here from HANWHA Esports. You mentioned the Rakan. We've been talking a lot about Delight's Alistair nowadays. That one actually left up, and so that one did go over to CFO. Remember, this is Fearless, so now Delight doesn't get to play Rakan into Alistair potentially, so that's a nice little thing from the draft that CFO do get at least.
All right, so Deep Vision does go down. They got their Raptor Pit ward, CFO that is, as well as Zeka getting kind of the mirror there. So both of them going to know, presumably, junglers starting on their blue quadrants. And that means that Jinja actually won't be early ganking bottom. Contrary to what he said in the video of the opener, he is away from bottom lane.
He has crafted a fabrication.
Genius.
Doggo is taking a bit of harass here because Kaiwing can't do much except put his head into the Rakan, who's not really going to care about it. The tempo heal used as well. Tempo ignite used by Kaiwing. As now Delight going to eat a Mystic Shot, and he's going to have to back away real quick. But really trying to put on the pressure, hit the level 2 here was Viper and Delight. It kind of did go awry there towards the very end, but still are able to hit level 2 first.
Yeah, they're trying to take advantage of the...
Dive on a Zeus here. The wave not in position just yet. And so I'm not sure if this will actually work out. The back is being channeled already. And you can see that Zeus is doing a good job of just actually trying to take the 1v1 here against Rest, which generally is not going to go too well for him. But still is able to push him away from the wave and also thin out the wave a little bit. Not able to do it enough, though, as now here comes the entire party. The flash on into Zeus. He's just going to flash away up the wave, as now the Harpoon here on the Rest, but he's still in a 1v3. We do have Peanut trying to make his way up, but I think it's going to be a little bit too little too late. This should be First Blood onto one of these guys. Is finally the level up, but it doesn't matter. First Blood does go over to Jinja, and again, this guy is making impact right at the beginning of the game.
Oh, here we go, though.
HANWHA! Oh, no, he's the one getting bullied. He's only 17, getting dove under the turret 4 minutes into the game. Grubs have been started, but now Jinja looking for a play on the bottom side potentially, as the equalizer will be used to thin out the wave. And that should stop the dive from happening right now, but he could look at it in just a bit.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting because HLE had the ward on Dragon, and since they are on Grubs and they had vision of Dragon, they're like, okay, Zeus, you know, there's probably extra pressure coming your way because they're not like trading immediately. So Zeus, really nice job there. Ults the wave, he clears it out, he gets out of there this time, so he doesn't allow himself to be that target. And because of the timing window, fully Grubs are already done, and since CFO were kind of looking for that, they didn't go for the Dragon and try and immediately burn it down. And when the extra experience of Grubs is just so big for junglers, so Peanut already to the level 6 here on Vi, and so it is just full power, and they're going to get both of the first neutral objectives for HLE, which, if we go back to Champ Select, and we're talking about the power of this HLE comp to push the timings of this game with their dive potential, them getting both of the first early neutral objectives is really, they want him to be the big carry Wukong, so we'll keep our eyes on that one for them. But as you said as well, the bottom lane, Viper opts to just use his first arrow for lane dominance and health trade. But Peanut's up top side, and there's your ult.
Yeah, there we go. That's the Rumble and the Vine. You see Jinja here. He's like, what do? I can't go in. I can't really get out. Here is now. He doesn't quite have the clone. Has to go for the Cyclone is now. We see HANWHA is making his way up, maybe trying to look for a 2v2, but Jinja is already so low. HANWHA going to push them over the wall. Peanut is quite low himself, but the last hit, he is going to take down the jungler of CFO, and now HANWHA all alone, and even Sekka's going to get the first roam on up as he does come in and clean up the kill. So CFO trying to help out their brothers, but instead they just gave over more kills.
Came back up, and so huge stuff here for HLE.
Yeah.
Again, they're coming in, you know, as really big tournament favorites, but does look like this one, they are on the warpath. Look at that very quick mountain of gold.
Yeah, the gold difference here, powered by AWS. We have skyrocketed into, well, the sky, as HLE Esports have taken a massive lead in this early game. We're only 10 minutes in. They're more than 2,000 gold ahead.
All right.
And maybe this is the opportunity, as that is not support Karma, but still she's only got a lost chapter. Can she do anything? As here comes the equalizer. Rest is already almost dead as Peanut and Viper are here. And they're even going to use the cease and desist into Doggo, as there's nowhere for him to go. They hand over the kill to Viper, as it was bad, and now it's just getting worse, Kobe.
Okay, so if this HLE rocket was in the sky about 30 seconds ago, we're surpassing the ozone layer very quickly, and we're going to be in outer space, I think, by like 15 minutes, maybe?
Yeah. We're in the stratosphere now.
Maybe 20 minutes. CFO, though, trying to get some gold wherever they can. Of course, you know, you're going to lose a lot of objectives after you lose, multiple players, in the same sequence. So yes, it is going to be a very quick 6 grubs for HLE, and Zeus was able to mine some turret plate money off the bottom side by a very quick rotation from HLE. So it's like, this is a lot of gold very quickly.
Yeah, will CFO get their first objective? That is the question on my mind at this point in time. The Feats have already gone over to HANWHA Esports as they have gotten the first 3 objectives, both sets of grubs and the first dragon, alongside of all the kills, of course. But they really want just the one dragon, but Delight's presence alone is enough to push them away, at least for now. We'll see if CFO actually do make a play for this dragon and stake their claim over this one. HANWHA Esports might just give it over and say, hey, we want the turret instead, but Peanut is keeping watch.
Yeah, I wouldn't give anything.
Oh, gonna hit the clone. Nice clone here, but at the same time, you're not gonna have that engaged now as they go in onto the Wukong, and there's just nowhere for him to go. They just go all in onto him, and the follow-up is there. Kaiwin can't get away from Viper, but Viper will let him go. CFO, Honky, he's trapped. He wants to make something of this. He goes in for the sweep as now maybe one kill can go over to CFO, but the answer is absolutely not in this fight at least, as Rest also will be baited into it and goes down. The 0-3 Karma and the 0-3 Azir. We're not feeling too good about that right now.
Avert your eyes, it's a bloodbath. It is not going to get easier to watch from here.
Oh,
it is brutal. HLE will take from them everything. They will not give a single thing over to CFO. Thankfully, CFO did get their first blood at the very beginning of the game onto Zeus. So they have something on the scoreboard, but the map will quickly fall into HLE hands here.
So we do see the damage that has been done in the last fight. Like, Honkyu did do a little bit, but unfortunately, the main thing that he did was just kind of bait Rest into doing more. And getting in there and dying once again. You can see the plate gold difference going heavily in HANWHA Esports' favor, as they have been given the majority of the plates in this one. As now, CFO trying to fight over this area of the map as well, maybe looking for the Rift Herald, but you see HANWHA Esports going in for the fight once again. They want Jinjia. They're not quite going to get him, as he does get out here, but the follow-up in onto Honkyu, and that's a Yone. Zika's like, thank you very much, I'll get into that fight if you'd like me to. As the sweep came in, he just goes back to his Unbound Soul, and CFO just have to run away injured. As
they spy a bird.
They do spy a bird here, as Honkyu should be going down as well. And you can see this lane economy snapshot powered by MasterCard. It's just growing larger and larger for the side of HANWHA Esports. As Zeka is just killing a turret in top. They don't even need him for the fight in the jungle.
CFO, they did kill Peanut, though.
They did.
They did kill Peanut. That was a shutdown.
They doubled their kills.
That's what you have to do when the games are like this and they're just running out of control. You just got to focus on one at a time. But he spies him from the bush. He's a bird watcher.
Yeah.
He's got out his binoculars. They found him. Thankfully, though, for CFO, they at least got some money, and the shutdown did go over to Karma.
And by the way, Honkyu's just dying in live as this is happening. That is now his 5th death, unfortunately, for our young rookie player here from the LCP. He is getting bullied by HANWHA Esports in Lal Park. I guess you could say you had a fun experience at least. Or you have your little bucket list, you can check that off, but it's not going to feel great for the side of Honkyu, because Zeka, he's playing his Yone, he's 3,000 gold ahead, 17 minutes in, and the game just kind of feels done and dusted. We'll see if CFO have a way back into this one, but it's 8,000 gold to lead, and we'll see how Honkyu died this time.
Zeka this time was bird watching from the brush. He goes in, and we saw an Ash Arrow kind of make a little preview across the screen there too. As we said, just have so much engaged that they're kind of built to push these games so quickly and farm kills. But Kaiwing wants to go back to the snap.
You see Zeka actually tried to Q3 over the wall there. Kaiwing is going to headbutt him back into the Cyclone, but that's just a dead Wukong instead. Zeka going 1v4. Surely he goes down here to these 3 as he gets a 3-man knockup once again, and finally the sweep and Rest. They finally take down the Yone as Delight is side lane pushing with his buddies as they look for more and more objectives.
It's
Kobe.
okay though. That's shutdown number 2, Valdez. They got another one. Zeka is good for 1 in the 4v1, as he kills Jinja, who went back over with very low HP, and You already kind of mentioned that their base took a little hit, a slight hit.
It's just one inhibitor out of the three, so you know it's not even more than half.
It's a little drafty down there being open, but Peanut caught on the blue buff.
Yes, caught.
Really caught?
Totally caught unawares here as his brothers Viper and Delight help him out. We got the TP coming in. Doggo is just pretty much dead beat in this one. Dies to the buy as meanwhile Viper's kiting it out against two. It just gets worse from here as even Zeka is adding insult to injury. They didn't need Zeus this time as he was just TPing to the top side. They look for the Karma as well. Rest probably survives here, I say, as in goes Peanut flashing for the kill onto Rest. He is not done just yet, as Peanut will go down, and Rest will survive for now.
That's one of those plays where it's like, well, if Delight's going to flash for it, then I'm going to flash for it too. Let's go, man. It is a solo lane Karma, and is able to survive under the tower there with Baron as we prep the rift.
I love how CFO are not backing down from anything. Kaiwing's like, you want to go? Let's fight, buddy. As meanwhile, 3 people are going to get ulted by Zeka, and it just doesn't matter as he's just flexing on them right now. A little bit of aura farming, I guess, but at the end of the day, he just backs away. Nobody was able to follow up. The equalizer was not used by Zeus, and it just looked cool. As meanwhile, they're just pushing mid. Zeka maybe looking for a bit more, but he doesn't have his ult anymore. That we know.
We do know that.
They got that out of him.
No Zeka ultimate for now. How do we punish that? Well, he just used his E as well.
Yeah, there was an opportunity there with the top
Maybe
Karma.
type in all chat, hey, duel me now at my own base under tower.
Yeah.
Who's going to be the one to... Oh, he's actually going to go bird watching again.
1v1.
Hide on bush.
I won't bring my
Classic
whole
strategy.
team. Yeah. Hide on bush. Zeka has learned. Oh, no.
It is the bird.
It is the bird. And, you know, the One ultimate cooldown is pretty low. Zeka might not even need it, but the golden arm guard is going to come out here as now. Zeka, did he get baited into the fight by himself? As meanwhile, Zeus and Viper are also coming up here. And Jinjia is like, okay, I have escorted my team away from this one. We want to back away. But here comes Delight, and now the equalizer is pretty nice on top of Rest, and Honku is so low in this one, and Doggo, he eased over the wall as the fight is very much broken up. Jinja is going to be going down as well. 3 people left, and the ult is back up here for Zeka, and he's going to catch Rest as well. Honku just trying to get away from this one, just trying to survive, but Zeus says, no, I want more blood. I haven't had enough kills here as he picks up his 5th. I think HANWHA Esports will just take the Nexus now, Kobe.
Okay, so no Baron in this game. No Baron at all. HLE looking to take a dominant game number 1.
Yeah, this one was a game of League of Legends that we did have. 12,000 gold the lead as HANWHA Esports dominates CFO here in game number 1.